Hey everyone, thank you for checking out another episode of What the Bones Say. Before we start our episode, we just wanted to give a quick disclaimer that this episode deals with mature content and does have some graphic violence. So, before you proceeding, make sure you're comfortable with these themes. Thank you again for checking us out.
Hello out there, all of you goddamn nerds. Welcome back to the What the Bones Say podcast. I am joined, as always, by my closest affiliates, George.
Hello.
Cody.
Yes.
And Sage.
Where are we?
We are in the podcast room.
Yeah, we're here.
And we are picking up where we left off with our Dead Men Walking session.
Yeah, I believe we had Donald Kettman in a guillotine. And
we want to end that guy very badly.
He killed Frank.
What proof do you have?
the last episode that the audience heard.
That was recorded
Yes,
and serialized.
the audience isn't here. They're just listening beyond the void.
Oh, but they will be.
Time is soup. The audience is always here.
Yeah, so
Wibbly wobbly.
So anyways, we left off on a rooftop in a very precarious building, and I don't know, I'd really love to get to killing this guy, honestly. So without further ado,
There is an important question, though. What type of soup is thyme?
Thai?
Tomato.
Thyme.
Oh, thyme.
Thyme.
Okay.
Thyme
I
is
was like, Thai
tomato soup.
What?
Ooh.
Wow, George, I was going to say tomato soup.
Whoa.
It's tomato soup then.
Yeah,
It's
it
tomato
has to be.
soup.
Yeah, we're on the same
A
wavelength.
creamy tomato soup.
It's
Alfredo tomato soup.
thick.
It's viscous. No Alfredo.
Not for you.
Not
but
for
for
me.
Lots of it.
No, it's a viscous tomato soup.
Alfredo, we drink that.
And it has oyster crackers in it, but the oyster crackers never get soggy.
Or how about you just bake up some mozzarella sticks and put it next to the tomato soup?
Yeah, you guys can do that.
You can do it too. It's not as fun.
It can be lactose-free cheese, like vegan cheese. Yeah.
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 Also known as V's.
It exists. It exists. We can arrange for that when we're off of this rooftop.
Sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're recording this off of a rooftop right now.
Yes.
So.
Yeah.
We really wanted to get into character.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're good at method
I
acting,
know.
if you didn't know.
Yeah, I can't see heights. I had Sage describe it to me in detail.
They're very big and high.
Instant fear.
Yes.
Instant fear.
But
Everyone's favorite microwavable popcorn.
Yeah.
oh, that actually sounds really good right now.
Yeah. That. Oh no, I was talking about my dice when you said that. I thought you were talking about my dice because I just took all my dice out.
Well, hey, the dice have a nice sound. Let's hope they roll well, because at this moment, the clicking, the howls, and the smell of blood overtake your senses as Miss Akrana gives you a slim smile. I must say, I am quite impressed, Mr. Kettman. You followed through with your orders. Kettman gives a smile and goes, Miss Akrana! Miss Akrana, it is a pleasure to see you again. Kettman, do you have the data? Kettman taps his head. Of course, Miss Akrana. Allow Mr. Kettman to step forward. The Bloodwater mercenary nods his head, and Kettman starts to walk forward. Do you let him?
OOC, I feel like they're probably just gonna kill us once he walks, once like they're free like the guy that matters is free of the rest.
That's super true.
So we can let him walk free and then get into a fight, or we can kill him, know that he's dead, and then get into a fight anyway.
So this is where I want to use my character's ability that talks about I can roll. It's like a 2 in 6 chance that I can know someone. I want to see if one of these Bloodwater mercenaries, is that the correct name?
Yes, Bloodwater.
I want to see if I know one of these guys.
Sure, go ahead and roll. You succeeded. You rolled a 2. You do. You actually know the commander. How do you know him? Well, once in a while, he would actually walk down and talk with you while you were within your padded cell. His name? Sorry, pulling up my notes. His name was Marcus. And Marcus would sometimes sneak you food that was not prisoner standard. But he is a bloody killer. And the one thing you know about Marcus is that he always has a backup plan. And his favorite backup plan are hidden snipers. And you wouldn't be surprised if somewhere there are snipers watching you. And Marcus looks at you and cocks his head and goes, "Well, I'll be. You're still alive.
What's up, Marcus? How you doing?
Some friendly advice. You take a step forward, we're gunning you down."
Well, all right. So here's my feeling, and I want to kind of like, how can we all get out of here alive? I want to kind of be in front of like, I don't know, like, oh man, I think I'm taking Donald Kettman as like a hostage.
You're going to try and grab Kettman?
Yeah, I think Eddie is desperate. I think Eddie wants to find any way at all for everyone to survive. That's kind of what I'm seeing. What do you guys think?
If Walter sees you going to do this, he's going to probably assist you or hold Kettman at gunpoint so that you can restrain him.
Okay. All right, we're going to go for it.
Okay.
We're going to go nuts. So I'm going to attempt to kind of grab Kettman.
Okay. So Kettman's taking a few steps forward, so you're going to have to take a few steps forward to get to him.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
D20.
Yes, please. So as you take a step forward, you hear Marcus go, "Eddie, don't."
As he says that, I'm gonna pull out my pistol and train it on the back of Kettman's head and say, "If you don't allow him to move
A
forward,"
gunshot rings out as soon as the gun comes out. A sniper from one of the buildings nearby fires.
Great. Can I fire just as quick?
You pull out the gun. The sniper saw you, had his sights trained on you. He technically has surprise.
Oh, great.
So I need to pull up his stats.
Well, that's it for Walter.
Boom, what you say?
Oh. God, I hate this Sage. But I love it at the same time.
I'm glad.
The drama.
There's so much drama, man. So much drama.
Dude, everyone took their Dramamine today.
Oh yeah. Yep. We're really feeling it out here.
Okay. So military. What is his plus? All right, +4. Does an 11 hit your AC?
I don't know. I have to check that again. AC is what's that again?
Armor class.
Yeah. Where is that? I forget. It's not there.
If you don't have anything for AC, it means it is 10 plus your dexterity bonus.
Oh, you put it in as 6 on this for some reason. I don't know why.
Your hit points.
Oh, okay. So it's 10 plus Dex.
Yes, what's your dex?
My dex is 12.
12, so you have a plus
Plus.
0, so your AC is 10.
Huh.
Because it's 13 when you start getting the plus ones.
Oh, it's not like D&D where it's like plus
Yeah,
2.
it's not 5e.
Okay.
So that will hit you.
Well-
A sniper rifle deals a d10.
Bye, Walter.
No, you have like 13 hit points after leveling up, right?
Oh, I do. You're right. So I survived this either way.
Plus 2. You take 5 points of damage as the bullet hits you.
That's not bad.
And what happens is, Walter, as you pull at the gun, your head shifts. And as your head shifts, where the laser sight was on the side of it, you shift just enough where it skins your face, and you then see more laser sights go towards you, and instinctively you kind of jump back as the shot fires, and you start to see the machine guns train on you, and you hear Marcus go, "Drop it."
Eddie will, at this point, see it's like pretty hopeless and back up with his hands up and stand, kind of cover the kid.
Walter's going to respond to Marcus. And what guarantee do we have that we make it out of this alive? Because once he walks, you're probably going to gun us all down.
Mr. Krana goes, "That is very archaic of you to think. But I understand your suspicions." Donald Ketman turns and looks at you and is now halfway to meeting the wall of the line wall of gunmen. And Mr. Krana goes, "Walter, it was, right?
Yes.
I remember reading your file. Quite an interesting resume you had. Your background, your science and expertise, and I can see that you are a very wise and intelligent man. So let me offer you a deal, Walter. As the CEO of this company, though Donald Ketman provides what we want most, we still like to have backups. Mr. Ketman, he's now 3/4 of the way, he's almost to the line. Mr. Ketman is very much a priority to us, but I do not want to leave people that can be valuable to the company as a whole behind, especially people like yourself. Here is my offer. There's a server room that we had to abandon. The server room has a backup drive. The drive can be pulled, but unfortunately, due to the power outage, the security measures to make sure that there is no theft of the drive will lock down the entire room. And I do not have enough men to spare."
Whoa. OOC. How many mercenaries does she have right there?
She has a good 30 and probably snipers around this tower.
It seems like we're in a pretty boned position.
So can I use my my knowledgeable and analytical ability?
What would you like to try?
So, okay, just to recap, she wants us to go down to the server room to grab a drive that I might have some knowledge of to get out of lockdown.
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. Scientific relevant facts apply to reach solution, deciphering code, solving a puzzle, or deducing a difficult answer. I would like to try and deduce if there is any sane way that we could get to this in one piece, and if not, then is there anything on this rooftop that is going to aid me right now?
Unfortunately, where you are on the rooftop, you can even hear the sounds of the zombies still climbing the side of the building. They haven't gone, so you're trapped behind you. And if you try to fight a bunch of machine guns, it would just be reenacting World War I. You can't dodge bullets. The rooftop around you has snipers hidden. Maybe there's some in other buildings because the military and other Bloodwater soldiers have taken position. You got lucky once. Do you really want to test your luck again? Your cheek is still bleeding from the bullet.
And by this point, I probably have my gun like trained on Ketman, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And they're just waiting for you to make a move, and they will gun every one of you down.
Okay.
Can I do something a little flavorful in this moment?
Yes.
So I guess like all I want to do is essentially make an intimidation check as I'm like I backed up with my hands up and I'm like blocking the kid from fire. I'm giving like the 1,000-yard stare to Ketman. So like as he walks to the other side and turns around, I want to have this moment of him seeing me like remember every detail about him in this like cold, chilling way.
Roll a charisma check. 10. Your charisma's 15. So here's what happens. Donald instinctively looks back and still sees the gun trained on him. But then he sees your stare. You can know that he'll remember that stare.
Yeah, I just want to undermine his delusional confidence even a little bit.
Miss Akrana looks at you. Walter, I will provide one of my men to help you navigate. He's been there a few times. And I will give you equipment to make sure you survive. This data is just as important. And I am also a mother. I don't want anything happen to the kid you have found alive. This event is already a tragedy, Walter.
He's gonna respond to her. Well, I will make this deal on a few conditions. First being, you take care of the kid, because we are not bringing this kid back into that hellhole. He'll only hold us up, and if you care about the child, then you will take him.
Very well.
Next, where in the building is this room located? How many floors down?
We can talk in person. And she's like shouting this as you guys are talking. We can talk in person once the kid and Donald Ketman are secure. I will put them on the same copter.
Shit, what did I want to say? There was something else I wanted to say to her. Okay. And he kind of looks around to like all of the troops that he sees right in front of them. There's so many of them. And he responds to her saying, you have about 30 troops there, plus whoever's on the helicopter, plus, and he wipes the blood from his face, snipers trained on us. I'm sure you can spare a little more than one man.
Unfortunately, and then you hear, Duck, get down, now!
He ducks.
All right, all of you duck. These infected pour over the side of the building. The machine guns start firing, and you then start to hear all this gunfire, and one of the infected that goes to grab you, Walter, his head is blown off. Pieces of it go flying. A few more fall down, squealing, and you actually hear one of the men shout, they're starting to get to the top.
Okay, so my response to this will be, okay, don't send any men with us, except the one that you promised. But at least clear our path so we can get down.
I think that is a reasonable accommodation. She gives you a slight smile. Send the kid forward. There will be no harm to her. Is that a her?
It's a him.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Eddie gets down, turns around, gets down on his knees in front of the kid. He's like, all right, kid, you're going to go over there now, and they're going to take care of you. Are you okay to walk over there?
The kid is terrified. I don't know.
You want me to walk with you? I'll ask him, and I'll come right back over here when you're over there.
Just the kid.
Look, he's scared. I can just walk him over there. I'll keep my hands up, and then I'll walk back over here.
Only the kid.
And as you're kind of talking to her, Walter, can we get back up by this point?
You could try standing up at this point.
Like they're not gonna they don't have anyone else to shoot right now.
No, they're still focused on that area where you guys are,
Yeah.
but they're not
Okay.
firing anymore. The threat that was chasing you has now been dealt with.
Okay, then in that case, Walter is going to get up, and is Marcus kind of front and center?
Yes.
Okay. Walter's gonna take his gun and he's gonna slide it towards Marcus.
Eddie,
Yeah?
you can walk the kid forward. Mr. Krana looks at him and goes, Mr. Krana, with all due respect, I have some of my finest men up here. They would blow these motherfuckers away pretty quick.
He's not wrong. That's a big gun. Eddie stands up slowly, keeps his right hand up, kind of puts his left hand out to the kid, and he's like, all right, it's time to be brave.
And as you walk, you start to realize where everything's positioned, Eddie. You see everything's following you. The machine guns stay on the group.
Mm-hmm.
You get to the kid. And Eddie, this is what you overhear. You then see someone finishing a draft of paper in a corner. And George, would you like to introduce your character?
Sure. You see a middle-aged man, not really balding, but he has these like long sideburns. He hasn't cut his hair in a little bit. About like brown hair. He's a bit on the shorter end, about 5'7". Is wearing a nice suit with a nice white undershirt with a fancy polka dot kind of tie. And he's just writing on this clipboard. He's got some notes on it.
John walks over to you and goes, is it done yet?
Oh, should be done soon.
Eddie brings the kid over, lets the kid go, keeps his hands up. Is that Paul? What's up, you loquacious fuck?
Oh, hey, you're still here. That's great, buddy.
Yeah, kinda. You didn't do a very good job, though.
Well, they hired me after my case for you. They liked me that much.
Oh, wow. That's so good. They hired me, too, but instead of paying me, they just experimented on me and kept me in a room for 2 years. So that's good. I'm glad it worked out for you.
Hey, you're not dead.
And I walk over to the other side with my hands up.
And as you're turning, you then see one of the soldiers walks over to Donald Ketman. And Ketman has the kid right next to him, facing towards the closest door of the helicopter. And Donald reaches over the kid as the soldier says, it's your daughter. Donald picks it up. Hello? Hi, honey. How you feeling today? There's some garble, and it goes, no, Daddy's going to take care of you. Don't worry, I'll get the money soon. You'll get the treatment. Shh, don't worry, I'm fine. I'm going to bring you that teddy bear you asked for. And, no, don't worry about it, all right? And then you continue to walk back as he continues the conversation.
And as that's happening, and Walter slides the gun to Marcus, he's just gonna look at Mr. Krana and be like, "You have a deal."
Very wise choice, Walter. You may step forward. All right. Who can we take off this helicopter first? I want those two and myself. The board goes, Mr. Krana. It's like, the board will get on the next helicopter. Once this is fueled, we go. Mr. Krana waits for all of you to approach. And goes, Paul!
Oh, yes, Mr. Krana. I was just finishing up those legal documents covering this whole entire situation up for you.
Oh, thank you so much, Paul. And Marcy goes, you're a fucking bitch. And Mr. Krana goes, excuse me? Marcy goes, Dwight's dead, you know. I'm so sorry. What was that, Paul?
Oh, yeah, I was just finishing up some of the documents. So if you bring this here, you won't be liable for any of the damages done today. So I wrote it all up, whole drafts, everything. You should be good.
Oh, thank you, Paul. And Paul, I have one more thing for you.
Yes, Mr. Krana?
Do you remember the server rooms?
I mean, I'm your attorney. I don't really usually go over to the server rooms, but I've gone by it a few times on my way to your office. And
Yes. Can you lead this fine group here to the server rooms?
Paul looks at her.
And he's like laughing so hard.
And he pulls like line.
Paul just looks at her and he's like, you know, I think I just forgot.
No, this is a great idea, Paul. You got to come down into the zombies with us and find the surfers.
Paul, this is not a request, she says with a beaming smile. This is part of your job description.
Well, you know you're going to need me for more. Then Paul just looks out at the documents he just finished to make her not liable for any of this shit anymore. He's like, well, you're going to need more of this.
Of course, Paul. That's why I'm sending them with you.
Yeah, we're going to get you back alive.
Paul, listen, by acquiring this data, you think that penthouse of yours is nice and cozy? What you will get from doing this, 10 times more.
Yeah, but I can't enjoy it if I'm not here, with all due respect, Miss Akrana.
And right now, you are going to be on the last chopper. Or you can be on the second chopper once you bring back the data.
Got it. Well,
Or we can leave him behind.
No. I can go. Anybody else coming with me, or just me?
I'm coming with you, buddy.
I'm an attorney.
And I'm a criminal.
Marcy walks over and grabs a cigarette out of one of the mercenaries' hands and puts it in her mouth. It's like, hey, Paul.
Hey. How you doing, Marcy?
Just peachy.
Great.
I like peaches.
You know, has anybody seen the show The Walking Dead before? I heard it has good ratings.
Yeah,
Shut up, Paul.
Okay.
That's the one about all the lawyers in the White House, right?
Sora's like,
No.
Sora's like, okay. What do we do? Like, what were we doing?
Well, I mean, I know the way. Here, who wants to be in the front? I'll tell you where to go.
Miss Akrana goes, now, I must really get going. And she gets into the helicopter. And before she shuts the door, she looks to all of you. It's like, don't worry. I will have one of my specialists stay behind to ensure that if you bring back the data, you are all safe. It's a pleasure doing business.
So, before she gets onto the helicopter, Paul is going to write into his little legal document that if a member of the board or if any higher up people die, then the liability is at risk.
Okay. So we'll make a note of that just in case.
So he's gonna add a little sneaky stipulation when she leaves him out.
Clever.
And he's gonna put it back.
Classic lawyer.
Eddie,
Huh?
as the door is about to close, Mr. Krona stops. Eddie,
Mm-hmm.
the kid wants to say something. And she opens the door and the kid pokes out his head and he says, I'm Estelle.
It was a pleasure to meet you, kid. Stay safe.
Thanks, mister.
You got it, bud.
I'm sorry, kid. We really have to go. And she closes the door. You see the pilots start checking the fuel and get in, and then the mercenaries go, all right, over here. And they bring your group over. Listen, we're going to suit you up with some basic equipment. Nothing too fancy, and don't get any ideas.
Yeah.
They look
Long
at
as it
you,
can kill.
Walter. No ideas.
Got it. He's definitely the ideas guy.
These are ballistic vests. You can put those on. They'll help for a little bit. Hopefully the zombies haven't learned how to shoot. But we got some rifles and pistols you can take.
Well, thanks. That's very kind.
All right, suit up over there.
Okay. Now, what is our point of egress? Are we just climbing back down?
So one of the mercenaries looks to you and goes, "We're going to send 2 men to make sure that the way down is clear." The place that they point to, there's an emergency staircase that leads up here. And they're like, most likely the explosion down on the 49th floor didn't take out the stairway. If it did, well, we can give you some tools to help you get down. But that's your egress. You need to get down to... Paul, which floor was it? Was it 47th or 46th?
Yeah, Paul. Which floor?
The 48th.
48th? Marcy goes, it's 47th.
Oh yeah.
It's great. It's great.
Sora goes, dear God, please tell me he's not our guide.
Well,
I'm not God.
I'm just look, I'm just an attorney, and he just says that as he's like fumbling the bulletproof vest on, and he's struggling to clip it. Hey, can somebody help me with this?
Yeah, I got you, Paul. Come here. Let me clip you in. Let me clip
Can
it
somebody
in.
else?
I cinch it so tight. So tight.
All right. You have 2 clips for your weapons. Hopefully you don't have to use them. If you do, well, hopefully you have enough bullets. Don't know, don't give a shit. Just get the job done.
Is there like a case of extra ammunition, just like sitting by that they're taking clips out of that we could maybe swipe a couple more clips from?
You want to try and steal a few extra clips?
It depends on how easy it would be. I don't want to take it off their person. I'm not trying to risk us getting like horribly injured and in trouble.
I don't know. I would say you could try to attempt to sneak over there and grab one. There's not anyone right now guarding the ammunition, but there are a lot of people in the area.
Yeah, let's not risk it then.
Can I patch myself up?
Yes, actually. So what happens is Albert comes over, and he's going to make a medicine check on you.
Yay.
15. His intelligence was 13. Unfortunately, what happens is as he goes to deal with it, he realizes he doesn't have all the materials he needs to stop infection, and he goes, "There's not much I really can do, bud." Great. Marcy goes, "Give me that," and just plops it onto your face,
Oh boy.
and just basically smacks you. It's like, man up and let's go.
I like her, man. Spitfire.
Hey, you're promoting toxic masculinity right there.
Marcy glares at you and goes, "Do you even have balls? Huh?
Yeah, I used to be.
Put on that fucking vest and let's get going."
I used to play baseball.
There. Shut up and listen. Get that vest on, grab a gun, and let's go.
Yeah, one of these, and Paul just looks at the various different guns. He's like, which one of these are good?
And as you're fumbling with the guns, one of the mercenaries gets really frustrated, grabs a rifle from the table, and hands it to you. Safety's still on.
Yeah, the part with the hole.
How do you turn that off?
I'm not showing you how to turn that off. Figure it out.
Well, Miss Akrana put me here, so
That's nice shit. You turn off that safety, how you're holding the gun, you're going to blow one of us off.
Yeah, Paul, the part with the hole in it, that's the part you pointed to zombies, bud.
thanks,
You're welcome.
Eddie. I didn't know that. You just see this forced smile
Yeah.
on his face.
I'm so helpful. Yeah.
Walter, you notice Marcy's getting really, really angry at some of the smallest things. At one point, Sora goes over to try and talk to Marcy, and Marcy goes, "I'm fine."
Is there a check we can do on that?
You could try an intelligence check or a wisdom check.
Yeah. I'll try what's lower? W is wisdom, yes? Oh, wait, no. Sorry. Never mind. I was looking at saving throws. I'll do an intelligence.
Okay, go for it.
All right. Well, that's a 4, and my stat is 13, so.
That's under, so you succeed. She's like really upset, and you can tell she's upset about the death of Frank, still upset about the death of Dwight, upset about everything that's going on, and she's taking it out as anger. And her blood is boiling. You can see her tapping her gun, which she's now is holding a shotgun, with anticipation.
Okay, noted. I'm not going to say anything to her. I'm just noting that.
Okay. Eddie, you notice this as well, as Walter kind of looks over to her.
I don't know what Eddie would say in this moment. You know what I mean? I think Eddie thinks the rage might be helpful.
Okay. And as Marcy's all pissed, Albert comes over and he goes, Marcy, what? Marcy I get it. I lost someone too. Marcy nods and goes, yeah, no one else is dying. Albert goes, yeah, no one else is dying. Come on. Marcy calms down a little bit, walks over, and the mercenaries go down. 10 minutes pass, 15, and they come back up. Clear, boss. Marcus looks to all of you and goes, if you believe in God, may he bless you.
And Eddie starts going in.
Albert follows. Sora follows. Julian follows, and Julian's shaking his head like, no, not again. Not again. And he still has tears, as with Frank being dead, was one of his friends in the workplace. And he just mindlessly goes down back into the hellhole that is now a Chrono Tower. Marcy goes in. Walter?
Yeah, I'd say he follows in as one of the last.
Okay. And
Paul goes in as the very last one.
as Paul goes in, you hear the door shut, and then something wrap around it like a chain and click like a padlock. And you hear Marcus yell, hey, Eddie!
What?
We should get a drink if you live.
That'd be nice. Honestly, it'd be good to catch up. We got stories, I bet.
We got plenty of stories.
All right. Come on, Paul. Let's go, buddy. You got to lead the way.
Paul smiles and looking around, he takes out his cell phone and he starts recording.
Okay, and as you go to record, you hear the automation voice go, hi, I'm Cindy. How can I help you today?
Turn it off.
You want to turn on light. The flashlight goes on. How else can I help you today?
Jesus Christ, it's been 2 minutes and I already want to punch you.
Look, Paul looks around. Is there
Searching
any...
up Punch You. New hit song by the...
He exits out.
Okay.
And he gets it to camera. And he's like, look. And he stares around. There's a million zoning law issues happening right now in this room. They're sending me down here. I'm going to get them for every fucking penny. You all need to live because you're all going to be key witnesses in whatever fucking lawsuit I want to do against this fucking corporation. And he continues.
Oh, yeah. I'm actually pretty on board with this idea. Hey, Eddie looks into the camera. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? He adjusts his hair. I was experimented on for 2 years. Illegally. Thank you. All right, bye.
Marcy looks around. If you stop fumbling around with your phone, can you give me some light over there?
Yeah, and he turns the flashlight on the phone.
And as you bring the phone up, you see the mucus has more solidified, and there are teeth all throughout it. A fleshy substance now coats the walls.
I don't know how much I can express the hatred I have for the teeth.
Sora goes, are we in hell?
No, I think we're in John Carpenter's The Thing right now, and Paul
Sora
looks
laughs.
around.
That was a good movie.
All right, Paul, where are we going?
Yeah, this way. And he kind of stays in the back, and he's just pointing in various different directions that he can.
No, sir. You got to come up here with me. We're going to be friends. And he goes into the back. Eddie goes to the back, gets Paul, and just kind of brings him up front with him and starts walking with him. We can do a check if you'd like. I don't want to just take control.
No, he's too scared
Okay.
of Eddie right now, so he just goes, yay.
Yeah, just Eddie one-handing a rifle and tracking Paul by the vest.
Albert walks up to you, Walter, and says, Walter, can you make me a promise?
What would that be?
If one of those things get me, you put a bullet in me.
He looks down and nods for a second. Just done. I can fully understand that.
Thanks. I just don't want to end up like Diego.
Understood. And I would hope that you would do the same of me.
Hell yeah. You know, Walter, I thought you were pretty much a shitbag. There's a nice side to you.
Well, given our current situation, I appreciate such solace as I can find. You're not bad yourself, buddy.
Thanks. Into the mouth of hell.
Walter kind of cocks his rifle, and he's like, here we go.
So, as you guys move, what you notice is that the walls themselves, the mouths, are actually the mouths of what seem to be these infected, starting to grow out of the mucus. And you can see parts of the heads, arms, legs twitch, and strange sounds coming from it. At this point, I need all of you to make I'm going to say a mental roll, please. As you traverse through this almost alien landscape.
Ew.
You rolled a natural 20, which is good in this situation because you want to meet or beat your savings throw.
Oh, wonderful.
So, Eddie, just another day on the job.
Yeah, Eddie might be like even mildly delusional. Like maybe it just looks like paint to him.
Like the Pyrovision from TF2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like rainbows everywhere.
Yeah.
Rainbow.
I'm sorry, Sage. What are we rolling for again?
So it's your mental. It's under savings throws. It's the last one before your plus or minus.
Okay.
And you want to meet or beat this one.
I got a 3.
Yeah, everything. The thing that I rolled is higher than anything on my savings throw, so.
You succeed.
I got a 3 and my mental is 15.
Okay.
I'm very afraid.
You're terrified. Part of you feels guilt. You were experimenting on this. You were experimenting on people using this to create a more effective weapon. And you also know that parts of the anti-aging drug that people like to take may have also came from this creature. You have entered a state of despair. You just stop walking.
Okay, is there anything I can do, or?
I look at you and I say, hey, Walter, right? Seeing that you stopped.
He just kind of looks at you like he's probably sweating a little bit, and then like looks back down.
Look, Walter, I'm freaking the fuck out right now myself. This is insane. This is some sci-fi shit going on right here. let's say you get out of this, okay? I need you as a witness, Walter. You're a key figure in my future case. So look, and he kind of grabs you and says, "Pull yourself together so we can be rich." And he shakes you a little bit, and he's gonna use his ability to raise morale
Oh, that's
by
awesome.
one in the group by saying that everybody's gonna be rich if they make it through this.
Oh my god.
Okay. So as you say, everyone's going to be rich because you are an icon. You can raise the morale.
Yeah.
I'm going to rule that the despair suddenly disappears. Maybe money does make things better.
Yeah, I look at him and I'm like, I'm gonna be rich.
Yeah. And then he intentionally stays in the middle of the group and just stares at Eddie nervously.
As you mentioned being rich, Julian nods his head and goes, I could afford to, repair my car.
You're thinking about your car right now?
Yeah, and I could get potato skins.
Ooh, Julian's got me a potato skins. Like it.
Have you had potato skins, Eddie?
Man, no, but they sound delicious. They're like little pieces of potato with cheese on them, right? That sound.
Yeah.
It's
And they have bacon. Marcy goes, shut up.
oh, it's so bougie. That's true. We're busy.
One of the heads pops out from the ceiling. It has 7 eyes on each side, and around the eyes have teeth. The back kind of stretches out, and its hands are long and gangly. It looks around. Doesn't seem to have seen you yet.
Does it actually look like the eyes serve any purpose, or are they just like physical features of it?
You're not sure. Unless you were to try and study it, you would not have an idea what it can do.
Would I have an idea what it can do because I've studied these things?
Yes, maybe. You could use your analytics skill if you want.
I'm gonna do that.
All right. So as you guys kind of duck behind the corner as this creature comes to life. Oh,
I got a 2
you did.
and 6 chance.
Yes, you do. You remember reading the file. The creature didn't really have eyes, the initial creature. So the eyes may be that it took materials, for lack of a better term, from those victims to use the mucus to reconstruct a new creature. And the eyes are actually human eyes. This creature probably does not see, or if it does see, it's through another means. So those eyes don't really seem to have an effect. However, it grabs its legs that start to form, and it pulls itself out. And as it moves with this weird swaying motion, popping out from its back are 2 long pincers that lift up its body, and it continues to move down the hallway.
Is it coming towards us?
No, it's moving away from you.
Okay. Can I pick up a rock and throw it farther down the hallway in the direction that it's moving?
Yes, I would say make a strength roll to have this be successful without it accidentally being too short, hitting the creature, or you just fluff up on the throw.
Eddie has a good strength score if you'd like Eddie to do it.
Before I do that, I think I'm just gonna wait a second and just see, just kind of signal the group, just shh, and halt,
Mhm.
and just see what it does.
Okay. You watch as it then seems to cock its head as if it's hearing something. And then through the bottom of the floor, it tears off all the plating, the carpet, and burrows deeper into the tower.
Okay, so it's just gone by this point.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck?
I'm gonna still signal to everyone to be quiet and tread lightly, and just let's be very quiet.
Paul, Julian sniffles. Sorry. There must be a cat nearby.
I wait a second to see if anything happens. Still rock in hand.
Nothing.
Okay. Anyways.
And then you hear something shuffle. And then silence.
Paul is sweating profusely. He's just like drenched in sweat.
Less manic now. Eddie has a serious look on his face, turns to Paul. Which way?
Paul points to the right.
Eddie starts moving in that direction, taking point.
And Walter's still going to be like...
Yeah, it's Eddie stepping careful.
Like just to everyone around him.
Okay. As you continue to move, I need all three of you. We're going to say you three are going to roll for the group.
Okay.
Stealth rolls, please.
Okay. Could you pass me one of the dice I rolled?
No.
Oh, this guy.
I'm evil.
Oh, what a wiener. Okay.
Which stat is stealth again?
That would be your dexterity.
Oh, I failed.
What did you roll?
I rolled a 15 and I have a 12.
Okay. You rolled a 3, Cody.
Nice.
That was me. He got a 2.
Oh, 2. You rolled a
Ooh.
2. And you rolled a 3.
Yep.
That means 2/3 of the party succeeded. But was it enough? What happens is this. Rob, as you're so focused on being quiet, you get out of this strange alien environment where the mucus continues to slick down the walls, and you come into more of a normal area. And as you're moving...
I have an idea. He sees a rat and he trips over it.
All right. So as you trip over the rat and hit the ground hard, you then hear some more clicking, and Julian goes, "Shh, shh." And then you hear a cat go meow and jump out. And Julian points at the cat and whispers, "See, I knew it, cat." And then you hear, "Rat." And then the sounds of bones crunching and fur kind of just sprinkles out from one of the dark areas.
Do we have to go by that dark area, or is it something we can move past without getting too close?
You have to go by this dark area.
Is it above that? Did this thing just like scoop up the cat and like bring it into?
You're
the
not
ceiling,
sure.
or-
It ran off into the darkness, and then you just heard a screech from the cat, and then you just saw some of the fur fall.
Okay, I want to wait a moment and listen and see if I can hear it getting farther or closer.
Okay. Paul, you have not really seen much of this. In one of the emergency lights, under its orange glow, like a cone illuminating it, this creature, pale, human-like, its jaw now fully extended, and you can see it foaming at the mouth. It looks very much like one of the interns that worked under you. Her name was Sally.
Hey, I think that's Sally over there.
Its head turns 180 degrees. It was facing one way, but its head is now looking in your direction. You were successful in your stealth roll, correct?
Mm-hmm.
It almost looks at you as you kind of duck behind cover. It still has Sally's brown eyes, but the face is all morphed.
All right, is there any way for us to get by it? If our stealth rolls were group successful, do we manage to get by the situation without triggering anything?
You will have to figure out how to get by the situation. You have not been spotted by Sally the infected.
Is there a way around?
So the closest way is there, but you could try to crawl through one of the vents, one of the air duct vents.
No,
Seems kind of loud.
that ends badly. It's loud, and what if they're in the vents? We already established that they kind of are.
They vented.
Yeah, they did vent. Sus. Is there anything environmentally, I don't know, uh, environmentally notable about where Sally is located?
You do notice that directly above Sally, you see one of the fire sprays, the fire sprinklers. There's also a hydrant that a fire, excuse me, not a fire hydrant. One of the, I'm blanking on the name at the moment.
Fire
one-
extinguisher.
A fire extinguisher.
Okay.
Thank you. You see one of the fire extinguishers that's kind of covered in mucus. You can see that there are also the panels of Akrana advertisements along these walls, and there's one on the far wall all the way down. And you do see a computer nearby that could probably get into the systems. And you also see along the walls there are things that can spray heat, and it's definitely easy to hack into one of the air quality controls.
I'm a hacking.
You're going to try and hack in?
Yep.
All right, I will need you to make an intelligence roll, please.
Okay. So one idea that I have while you're hacking into the system is maybe like we can turn on the like alarms and sprinkler system to create a lot of havoc all throughout the building to kind of give us some cover as we move and maybe take shots.
Yeah, I don't know about alarms because that just might make them kind of congregate and freak out.
Yeah, that could aggravate. That's true.
But if there's like a unidirectional sound source, we can like set off in this one area that draws them all to it, then maybe we can do that.
Where are there like research and development, like more low key things on the positive floors that like had containment stuff? So like if we could trigger an emergency lockdown in some of the less, secretive stuff on positive floors, maybe we can get them all to run way lower in the building.
So most likely they wouldn't have anything like in containment on the positive floors unless they took the secret elevator up to the more executive floors to show some new evidence.
Mm-hmm.
But what you do know is that there are some floors that have automated turrets and defense systems. And sometimes you can even hack into the vending machines, as Akrana tried to move forward with AI-controlled vending machines, as recently they were having trouble with people smashing open the vending machines in anger.
Okay. As I'm hacking in, because my intelligence is a 13 and I rolled a 5, what kind of controls do I see in this console?
So in this console, you actually see the automated turret system. You see a air duct system for multiple rooms, and you see some of them are offline, and it's when it tries to give you an error, like what the error is, it goes unknown substance inside vent. You also notice that the other thing you hack into is the cameras. Akrana runs its cameras through this system as well.
Okay. I'd say first off, he's gonna take a look at the cameras and kind of see what's going on around here and down to the floor we need to be at first, if it can go multi-floor.
Okay, so as you're peeking through the cameras, you see a lot of the rooms are infested with the infected as well as this strange mucus substance. One of the things you see is almost this starfish-like infected that is crawling across the floor. And it has these strange appendages and arms and legs growing out of it. And you watch out of curiosity as it starts to feast upon a corpse. And as it does, it mutates even further. And as you switch through, you then actually get into the server room.
Okay.
And because you looked into the cameras in the server room, you see a group of survivors holding out within the server room, armed to the teeth. And around the server room, you see infected clawing at the doors.
So how many things can I do with this console? Can I do all of the things that you're talking about now that I'm in?
Yes, you could. You could activate multiple things.
Okay, so firstly, from my experience experimenting on the infected, I feel like a really basic test that I might know is how they react to heat and cold.
So one thing you do know is they don't react particularly well to cold. And your basis for this hypothesis is because you were able to put into cryostasis the alien that started all this. And if it goes off of some alien DNA, which you could probably theorize it does, it would probably have the same reaction where it slows, hinders, or perhaps even kills.
Okay. Then in that case, I'm gonna turn on the cooling vents like to max and make it like frigid like throughout the whole building if I can, as far as I can go with it.
So you're going to remove the safety cooling feature that keeps it from going below a certain degree?
Yep.
All right. For this, roll me 2d6. On max double six, it lowers so much it's like winter.
Okay.
On 1, it lowers to about like 50 degrees.
Okay. Is there another D6?
And in between is somewhere in between.
6 and a 2.
6 and a 2. Okay. So we're going to say it's now around 33 degrees.
Okay. Okay, that's decent.
Yeah, so it's cold. You guys all feel the shift in temperature. And you kind of realize staying here for a long time will get you, well, a cold. And to your surprise, the infested start to shiver.
Okay. Next, are there any turrets like in our room that we're in right now?
There is one turn in your room. You also see there's about 6 to 7 turns around the server room and one in the server room.
Okay. Do they differentiate between human or like hostile, infected, whatever?
You believe they don't. The thing that you believe is that if there's an unauthorized person on the floor and the turrets are activated, the turrets fire.
Okay. Can I activate all of them except for the one in our room?
In your room, so you want to also activate in the inside of the server room?
I'd say activate the ones outside of the server room at first, and then I want to watch and see how they respond.
Very well. So here's what happens. Eddie, above your head, and you, Paul, were next to Eddie, correct?
If Eddie dragged him back there, because Paul hit in the middle.
Yeah, Eddie got serious and stopped trying to like drag Paul forward. He needed to focus, so no, Paul's in the middle.
Both of you hear a whirring sound. The turret drops from the ceiling, turns, and these massive guns start going boom, 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 boom. And you watch as your former intern, Paul, is lit up. I'm going to have it roll. This will be with surprise, so it's going to have a plus to it.
This is so great.
That is going to hit poor Sally.
Poor Sally.
.3d8 damage. You watch as Sally's head, torso, and legs are blown apart. Whatever remains of her are just fingers and toes. And the turret then shoots back into the ceiling.
Oh my god, what the fuck?
What caliber bullet was that, dude?
You just
I
just turned Sally into fucking paste.
say to them, whatever, don't worry about it. And then I go back and I shift through the cameras and I kind of look at how the survivors are doing.
All right, the survivors look shocked as all of a sudden you see gore covering the windows of the server room. And one of the survivors looks and they stop. And as the guns all shoot back up, the survivor steps out, looks around, and waves to the others to follow. One of them shakes their head, points to stay, and the other keeps beckoning forward. And in one of the survivors' bags, Paul, you identify this as you've seen it before, is the backup drive.
Paul, does Paul see all of them?
Yes.
Are they in our line of sight right now?
They're in the camera view that he has active.
Hey, is there a speaker on that?
Is there?
You could try to hack into the speaker. That will be a lot more difficult, and someone who's not familiar with hacking will have a difficult chance.
Okay. If I fail, will it lock me out of everything?
It could, depending on the failure.
Okay. Is there any other way that I can send them a message, like on another console in the room, maybe display?
There are the turrets that always sends a message.
I was considering that, honestly.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so
You could try and hack into the server that allows you to control the advertisements.
Would that be easier?
It would be easier, but it could still lock you out of the system.
Okay.
Look, Walter, we gotta talk to them. They can't run away with that, or else we go bye-bye. We're stuck. We're dead.
Yeah, we also can't risk blowing them up because, what if they shoots the fucking drive? Then we're also fucked.
I am going to attempt to hack into the advertising then.
Okay. Make an intelligence roll, sir. This will have a -1 penalty. So that's a 19 total.
Yeah, that's a bad roll.
Yeah, so here's what happens. You have two choices for this failure. Either the advertisement plays way too loud and may draw unwanted attention, or instead of hacking into that, you hack into all the turrets in the system.
Well, I assume when I'm playing the advertisement to tell them what I'm trying to say to them, it's localized in that area, right?
It could be, but you had a pretty bad roll.
Okay.
You may have accidentally put something in that causes the computer to do something different.
Okay, so on the other hand, too, that could also mean all of the turrets will deploy.
Correct.
Which would suck. So I'm going to go with the advertisement.
Okay. So here's what happens. One advertisement lights up. 3 more advertisements light up. 7 more. What's the message you try to put in?
Can I speak?
You want to try and speak through the advertisement?
If you want, but he's going to cut you off if you say anything.
Go ahead.
Hi, this is Paul, the attorney.
It kind of glitches out for a bit.
Hi, this is Paul. Look, I'm currently writing a case for you guys right now. I'm the local attorney here.
Case attorney local.
We need to talk.
Can I have it display a message on the advertisements?
It can.
Okay. Can I just tell them you're welcome. Meet on this floor.
So as the message will go through without any issue. And as you're speaking, Paul, one of the people looks up and they take their shotgun and fire and blow out the camera. And Marcy goes, she gave the same deal to another group. Only one of us is getting out alive.
Well, I'm going to make sure it's fucking us.
What? Look, why can't we both get out?
Can I attempt the turrets again?
You could.
Is that another roll?
Yes.
Okay. Then upon realization of this, I'm gonna be like, oh shit, and he's gonna be like, I'm gonna take my chances and blow him to pieces.
Whoa. Let's not be hasty here. That's quite a jump in. All right. We're just going to kill these guys?
Why else would they have the chip? It means nothing
I
to
don't
them.
fucking know. Maybe.
It means nothing to them unless she gave the same deal to them.
Either the Akrana lady made a deal with them or these guys are working for a different party.
Marcy says, we could cut them off at the exit, try to reason with them, but we're running out of time.
I like that idea. Why are we just immediately jumping and killing these people in cold blood?
Sora's like, I'm not going to let anyone else do that. But Albert goes, and if they decide to shoot us instead? I don't want to shoot him either, but we need that or we're not getting out of here.
It's us or them. Would you rather do this the easy way or the hard way?
Jesus, fine. Okay, do whatever you gotta do. Just leave me out of it.
Marcy goes, I really don't think that's what we should do. We should cut him off, see if we can talk about this. Sora goes, I agree. And Albert goes, I think I'm with Walter here. Eddie, what do you think?
I think either way, we're going to have to kill some people. I don't, maybe we could talk them out of it, but there's also the chance they worked for another corporation. Maybe they're taking this as an opportunity to get their own slice of the pie, if you will.
They're moving quickly. The time to choose is running out.
Walter's gonna go and try and activate the localized turrets for where they are and where they're heading. Not in our area, of course.
Marcy goes, Walter, you can't. Sora's like, don't. Go ahead.
Okay. You said it's intelligence, right?
Correct. Failure could mean that the turrets everywhere activate.
Well, good thing I rolled 11. My intelligence is 13.
The turrets activate. They all come down, and actually this time you can hear their screams as they turn the corner. You actually see them for a split second as the turrets begin to fire.
Hell yeah.
Eddie just thinks that the kid got out, so that's good.
One of the turrets misses, and the guy holding the chip ducks behind cover. The other two turrets hit. The 6+4 and the 18+4 hit, so they are taking 3d8 points of damage.
Nice. So we hit everyone except the guy carrying the important thing. I did good.
Oh, that is 17 points of damage. You thought that infected was bad. There is nothing left of two of the survivors, and the one holding the chip reaches out his hand, and from the camera, you can see him mouth the words, honey, no.
Well.
And both of them are gone. You see tears, and you then can hear his screams of agony. And from that, you start to hear the walls start to chitter. And as he turns and starts to run down the hallway, you watch as some infected start to rise up from the darkness behind him.
Can I activate the turrets again?
You still have the activation of the turns. So,
Oh, that's great. Is it possible to activate the ones chasing this guy, or so that in such a way that the ones from where the infected are, it'll get the infected, but it won't get the guy, I guess?
yes, so there's the one in the hallway that blew away Sally.
Yeah.
When he turns that corner, it could just start shooting the infected, but you have to take manual control.
Okay,
All right.
I do that.
So he turns the corner. As he starts hauling ass, you can see him crying as he's running, but he's just not going to stop the infected come. There's first 3, and then there's some crawling over it, and then they almost, like a big wave, start to chase him down the hall.
Ratata.
Ratatata. Okay. Are you shooting a horde or the single zombie?
Well, if there's a horde of them, I think I just kind of
Spray into him?
spray into them, trying to avoid this guy.
All right, so here's what I'm going to say. As the infected run down the hall, we're going to say you first see 20 infected, so the AC for the infected is going to be 20. All right? Your turret is going to have manual control, so you have a +4 because of the turret. Do you have any missile bonus?
I do not. No.
All right, so you have a +4 to this roll.
Okay.
If you hit the horde, and then they have to make a save versus blast or take full damage or half damage.
Okay, and what is the roll?
It is going to be a D20 +4.
Copy that. So 14, definitely under the AC.
Yep, that is under the AC. So what happens is you're hitting bits and pieces of the infected, which slows it down, but it doesn't really blow any of them away. And as the infected kind of shrug it off, one of them goes to leap out at the guy. 15 tackles the guy, dealing 4 points of damage, bites into the guy, and you hear him cry out as he's trying to crawl forward. At this point, you all see him in the hallway. Do any of you look at him?
I'm still at the console.
Okay.
I look at him, and I think... So he's in the hallway, right? Like outside a door?
Correct. And he has the backup data drive.
And Paul is cleared for this floor, right? Because he's been on this before, so he should be safe from the turrets.
Correct.
Any of these monsters still in the hallway?
Many of these monsters. They're behind him. One of them has tackled him to the ground and starting to bite his leg.
Can I just shrug and be like a lost cause and activate the rest of the turrets?
You could, but you just shot with your manual turn, so they have a
Before-
chance to do something first.
True.
Yeah, and before you do that, I think, like, Eddie wants to just try and run out and grab the backpack that it's in.
Okay.
That's a good idea.
So, Eddie, give me a strength roll.
Oh, thank Christ. Wish me luck, my friends.
Good luck.
Good luck.
You rolled a 10, which is under your score of 18, which succeeds. So, Eddie, what happens is as you are taking manual control, it's not going to shoot Eddie because you are firing.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you choose to shoot Eddie,
I'm
of
not.
course.
No.
Eddie,
Truce buddies.
Yeah.
as you see this guy, you see him hold out his hand. It goes, help me. Help.
Sorry. Shouldn't have shot the camera, bud. Bye.
And you rip off the backpack with ease. And he goes, no, no. And as he screams out, the horde descends upon him. Eddie, you are hit with something wet as you were running, and it smells an awful lot like blood. And you then see Marcy step into the doorway and start firing her shotgun. She's going to fire into the horde. 18, which was the AC of the horde, or was that
It was 20. I
20,
believe,
right?
so-
So Marcy leveled up. Let me see what her bonus is.
Unless it lost AC because I hit some of them. I don't
You
know if
slow them
that's
down, but you didn't kill anything, so it's
Okay.
still 20. Let me just check her AC.
Cool.
How about that? +2.
Yes.
Oh, she hits it on the nose.
Yes, she does. And Marcy fires into the horde. The horde now needs to make a save versus blast. 13. Let me check the horde. Their save versus blast was 15. They fail. They're taking full damage. Woo! So she's going to pump all the rounds of her shotgun, her assault shotgun, into this, which is going to do a D8 plus 1. 7 points of damage. You watch as Marcy screams out, pow! Head is blown away. Another zombie takes it in the chest and falls. 3 of the zombies that feast, pow, pow. You watch as her whole clip is empty and the room is cleared of zombies for the moment. And Marcy cocks it back and she goes, let's get the fuck out of here.
All right. Eddie gives the bag with the chip in it to Sora.
Hey, I was the one asked to get that. Could I hold on to that?
No, not you. Sora gets it.
What?
We're all going together. It's going to be fine.
Sora goes, okay, let's go.
And as people are fleeing out, I think what I'm gonna do, because I still have, I'm just gonna activate all the other turrets on the floor and below that aren't in the areas that we're heading to.
Okay. As they activate and start to fire, one of the walls is burst down by this massive infected, and it has 7 heads of what seem to be some type of humanoid-ish. It's very hard to describe. They're pale and elongated features, and it has the foaming of the mouth. And would you like to do an analytics roll for this? Because you've seen a lot of the foaming of the mouth.
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Does it seem like the cold has taken any effect?
Yes. A success.
Success.
What you notice is that where the jaw is extending and how the face is being reshaping, you believe that the saliva glands in the human body are expanding. And that is actually a mutation that is allowing for this mucus. And that is how they're producing the mucus, as a way to capture, communicate, and also reproduce.
So if we shoot at the mucus glands or like take those out, they should be pretty helpless.
Taking them out will definitely have problems with communication for the creatures. You believe that do you remember when you guys walked into that elevator and one of you accidentally tripped the webs?
Yep.
That sent a signal to all of them. That mucus sent a signal to all of the nearby creatures that you are here.
Okay, out of character, I don't think Eddie would know this, but it's like essentially like a macro neural network.
Yes.
Bodacious.
So,
The Omnigoo.
as you guys run, you have the turns activating. I'm going to say that the turns are focusing on the zombies at this point. There's so many that they would not turn to shoot at you guys.
And then we run.
Yes, so as you're running, some of the infected start to pour through. That creature that shot a hole down from the ground pops back up. You continue down the hall, and at this point, I need you guys to roll strength.
Cool. Okay.
As you are hauling ass out. Strength or dex, whichever one is better for you. Well, well, well. It seems we have some badasses right here.
Hell yeah. Badass in the building.
Not a single one of you failed. Now I'm going to roll for Sora, who's carrying it. She needs to roll under an 11. Sora rolled a 14. We'll get back to her. Marcy.
Why'd we give it to the NPC?
Shit.
Marcy also failed.
Oof.
Julian.
No.
Julian also failed.
No.
And Albert. Albert succeeds. So Albert and the four of you start to get some space. Sora is like, I can't keep running.
Here, I'll take that for you.
And as like you go to take it from her, she goes, no, I can. A zombie grabs her legs and starts to drag her down the hallway. Paul, you just grabbed the backpack and it's in your hands.
Oh, and he's gonna continue sprinting.
All right, so you're sprinting away and Sora's screaming for help. Albert looks back and he sees Marcy. Julian then grabs his side and goes, ah! He's just having trouble running, and a zombie's about to get on top of Julian. Marcy is getting overwhelmed by zombies. She's now using the butt of her gun to push them back. Sora's being dragged away.
Can I give Julian my gun?
You can try to give Julian your gun, but you have the backpack in both hands right now.
I got the backpack. I go, trade. And I throw the gun to Julian.
Okay, I need you to make a dex roll. And we're going to say if you succeed on this dex roll, Julian catches the gun and tries to use it.
Okay.
Yeah, can I like just full auto on the horde of zombies in an attempt to buy them some time and like give them a little breathing room?
You could do spray and pray and just like empty your rifle to see what happens.
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
Okay.
You know, I don't want to hit any of our friends, but like...
Okay.
My dex is 14, and I got a 10.
You succeed, so Julian's going to get the gun, but did you take off the safety?
He doesn't know too much about that.
Odds or evens, George?
Never tell me the odds.
2.
So evens.
Yeah, you succeed. So Julian goes to fire, and the safety was off. You may have accidentally hit it off. Maybe at some point you figured it out. Who knows? Julian's shot. If he misses, the zombies get to him. 7.
Oh, no.
He's just a janitor and fires. Now the zombie on him.
Oh, no.
The zombie grabs Julian by the neck.
Poor Julian.
Max damage.
no.
You watch as Julian fires the gun and screams out, "No, no!" And you watch as the zombie bites into him and he falls and his jaw extends and you start to see the saliva glands expand and Julian falls to the infected.
I tried, and Paul just continues running.
All right, I'm gonna do the spray and pray, hoping I can at least buy Sora and Marcy some time.
Okay. You're emptying your full clip, by the way, by doing this.
Yes.
All right, you are also getting a +2. Let me just check so I don't spray. AC of all opponents. So I'm going to say right now there's like 10 opponents. You have to beat an AC of 10.
Okay. And I have a +2, you said? +2?
Yes.
I don't
1 and 9 is 19 plus 2, which hits. They need to make a save versus blast or take full damage.
And I got above a 20. Does that mean I get to do damage things again?
So that means any nearby zombies, you can make another attack against a zombie with either a melee attack or a weapons or a gun attack. However, you sprayed your whole clip. So unless you have a pistol, you won't be able to make another weapon attack with a gun.
Do I have a pistol?
Yes, you were given a pistol as well.
Okay, so I'll do the damage for this one, and then I'll make it.
Before we get to that, I have to roll for the zombies to
Okay.
see if you have damage or full. 1. Full damage.
Yes.
So you were using a rifle.
Yep.
And that is a D8 plus 1.
Is it any extra damage for full auto?
Plus 1 to damage.
Oh, okay.
And this was a spray. So you're just hitting multiple targets by expending your full clip. 7 plus 1 plus 1 is 9. You watch as you just fire into the crowd and zombie after zombie drops. And now you have your pistol. So I'm going to say Marcy or Sora can be free from your spray and pray.
We'll free Marcy.
Okay, so Marcy, you fire and you just keep unloading till you hear the clicking sound of your gun, and Marcy's able to get away, so she's safe.
All right, and now I will attempt to free Sora.
All right, you pull out your pistol. You rolled a natural 1. You were firing into a crowd. Roll to see if you hit Sora. 12 plus 2 is 14. Her AC was 13. Unfortunately, you hit Sora. Please roll a D8. Yes, a D8, please. You deal 5 points of damage to Sora. She screams out in pain as you're firing at the zombies, and the zombies continue to drag her further away. She is wounded. She's not dead. She's very close to being dead. And now the zombie goes to try and finish her off. She has to make a successful strength blow. Unfortunately, she rolled an 11. Her strength is 10. Sora's dragged off screaming before you see a shadow along the wall as Sora is ripped apart by the zombies. Sorry, bud. You tried everything you could.
I'll process the trauma later.
I'm sorry, man.
It's all good. All
Hey,
right.
it was heroic of you. Albert, as you're firing, what he's going to do, and seeing that you guys are having trouble, he looks to you and goes, "Keep the promise." Albert will commit a heroic sacrifice to give you time. Let's see if he survives. Unfortunately, fate does not say he will survive, and he's going to give you 5 plus 1 is 6 rounds to get away from the zombies. Albert starts by taking out not a gun, but he grabs a combat knife and flings himself into the crowd of zombies. Let's see if he kills any. No, he does not, unfortunately. He cuts a lot of them up. He pushes them down. At one point, he continuing to fight, and he hands the gun to you, just to let you know so you don't have to reload.
Okay.
And Albert goes, "Get out of here! You motherfuckers killed Diego! I'm taking you all down!" And as he's saying this, coming out from underneath the building is that strange creature. It grabs Albert, and you hear him scream. And he looks at you, he's like, "Keep your promise!"
I look back at him and I try and place some well-placed bullets while I'm like far ahead with the assault rifle.
All right, make an attack roll, please.
Okay.
Paul's still just running, by the way. He never stopped.
Oh, Eddie is trying to catch up to Paul now.
That's a natural 1. Unfortunately, what happens is as you're firing, the creature's thick carapace, or whatever it is, it's not really a carapace, it kind of has this moving flesh, takes the brunt. And you hear Albert goes, "Walter! Walter!" as his voice fades into the horde of zombies.
I yell back, I tried, and I keep running.
All right, so there is now 4 of you left. Marcy, Eddie, Walter, and Paul. Paul, you have the backpack. You guys then start banging on the door. You hear one of them, yeah, yeah, yeah. And they undo the padlock. They remove the chain. And they go, "What?"
I got it.
"Great." And as you hold it up and realize, and they can hear, you guys can hear the infected now crawling up the stairs. You watch as the helicopter hasn't left for Miss Akrana yet. And Miss Akrana goes, "What is taking so long?" Marcus looks down and he holds up his phone, or some type of pad, from what you can tell, nods his head and goes, "Uh-huh. You're good for takeoff." Donald Ketman nods. The doors close and the helicopter flies away. Akrana still on the ground like, "What are you doing? You said there was an issue with the engines." Marcus pulls out a gun. "Sorry, Miss Akrana. New CEO." And fires, shooting Akrana in the head. She drops to the ground dead. Mr. Ketman is paying us now. All right, into the chopper. Grab the data. Kill. And as he says that, the infected start pouring over the sides of the building. You start to hear the sounds of gunfire, the machine guns going, the heavy shells hitting the ground. Behind you, you can see one of the infected climbing along the walls, and the 2 soldiers, kind of pull you in instinctively and just start firing. What do?
In the chaos, I'm going to try to slip into the copter because I have to drive.
Okay.
I get in there with him.
Same. We're all on his ass.
Okay. So there are some gunmen that are trained on you. I'm going to say there's a lot of chaos. And if you make a stealth roll and succeed, you can slip through the chaos. If you fail, they see you, and we take it into initiative.
Okay.
Okay? Anyone that succeeds slips through successfully. Anyone that fails has to deal with initiative.
Okay, copy
Fair?
that. Yep.
All right?
Fair enough.
Here we go, gentlemen.
Oh, no. Yeah, I'm...
And it must be underneath your dexterity score.
Well, rolled a 14, I have a 12, so.
Okay. Eddie? I don't know which one you rolled. You're going to have to reroll.
Okay. You want to clear out some of the stuff that's in there?
You rolled a 3, which is underneath your dex score of 17. So, Eddie, you slip through. And Marcy, I have to roll for her. Marcy rolled a 12. Her dex is 13. She succeeds. Yep. So, Walter and Paul. Paul, as you try to slip by, one of the guardsmen just goes, "Sorry."
I take the drive and I look and I threaten to break it.
He just keeps the gun hoisted. It's like,
You want this?
yeah.
You're going to let me go.
And you see out of the corner of your eye Marcus bring up his pistol.
I duck.
Okay, Marcus is going to try and fire. So you're ducking.
Yeah.
We're going to say you're ducking behind some cover, some of the building. And so, Marcus, your AC is going to increase. I'm saying you have 3/4 cover.
In Paul.
Paul, excuse me. Marcus fires, and as you duck, the shot hits. You see sparks fly, and he continues to fire his gun. The other guy starts to shoot too, but you're behind full cover now. And that brings us to Walter. As they're distracted with him, the infected are pouring over.
Eddie is motioning to Walter, let's go.
Yeah, can I attempt to reason with them and slip by or something?
So they're distracted with Paul at the moment, and Paul has the drive.
Paul would like to say something when it's his turn.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I'm just gonna like try and act like one of the boys and just like, you know,
One of the
slip on because I
boys.
got like I got the body armor on, I got the rifle, you know, and I'm like outing along.
Interesting. Make a charisma check.
Copy that.
Because if you're confident enough and they're so distracted with the infected, you may be able to pull it off.
Yeah, no, I have a 7. That's a 15.
So as you try to act like one of the boys, one of the snipers sees you, the same one that went to kill you. And at this point, we're going to say initiative. So you are supposed to be in initiative if you want to help out, Cody.
Wait, did he roll a charisma check or a saving throw?
Check.
Wouldn't he rolled under?
He rolled a 15.
Oh, my bad. Sorry, I got the numbers backwards in my head.
You're great.
So who has the highest dex?
I have a 17.
I have a 14.
Okay, so you have a +2. So you want to roll for the group?
Sure.
And I will roll for the mercenaries, which have a +1. 7 total, 5 + 2.
Bad.
6 + 1 is 7. You have the higher dex, which means you and your posse goes first before the mercenaries, the infected. Rolled a 4. So the heroes of our story, or survivors more like it, go first.
Wow.
So you may all declare a move action and then your action.
All right, who's in the helicopter?
You and Marcy are right next to the helicopter. The pilot is in the cockpit.
Okay.
So I'm going to move and stay in cover if that's possible and try to make my way closer to the helicopter as much as I can while speaking to the militia.
Okay. So you're trying to stay within cover as you're moving.
Yeah.
Okay. And what are you saying?
I'm saying I recorded everything, and unless you want every single little thing that you guys fucking did blasted throughout the internet, then I would let me go, because if I die, I set a timer for it to upload. And we're out in the open now. I got service now, bitch. You're gonna let me fucking go, or you're all fucked.
I love that. I got service now, bitch. All right. So here's what I'm going to say. Make a charisma roll.
All right.
And I'm going to say you have a +2.
Okay. Cool. So it's a -2 technically, right?
Technically.
Yeah. So I make it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Marcus stops firing and goes, son of a bitch. All right. Bring it here and you get on the copter.
Look, I'm not giving away my insurance. If you want it to upload, that's on you. You're just going to have to take my word for it.
Fine. We'll escort you.
He nods.
And Marcus, you guys continue to walk, so the mercenaries are no longer firing at you. So that's your turn.
Yep.
Rob or Cody, your characters are up next in this initiative.
You got any ideas?
I mean, not really. Now that there's a sniper trained on me.
It's the same sniper that shot you earlier.
Is there any way that I can like appeal to him to not shoot me and shoot the infected instead?
Unless you want to try and start screaming at the sniper,
Can he even hear me from where he is?
perhaps. So you remember he was probably somewhere on this building. Maybe he was on a building over, but most likely on this building up on one of the higher parts of the tower.
Okay. Damn, there's not much I can do. I guess what I'm gonna do is I'll look at where I think he is, and just kind of like raise my hands up and like point over to the infected.
Odds or evens. If it lands on an odd or an even, it that you call. It's in your favor. If not, it's in a different favor.
Okay, I'll do odds.
As you point at the infected, you actually see the position of the sniper now. Up on the tower, there seems to be like a smaller elevated position that he grappled up onto that has a flat surface. And as he is about to fire, looking over at the infected, he swiftly turns. And you realize that behind him, one of the infected had climbed up, and he's now firing at that infected.
Huh.
Natural 1. So as he goes to fire, the infected knocks away his sniper rifle. It moves across the ground, and it's now going to try and bite him.
Great.
They're jostling. They're fighting each other, keep sending punches into it, and the creature just can't get a clean bite on it.
Can I take the opportunity to, kind of try my luck at getting towards the chopper again?
Yes, make a strength roll,
Okay.
because you're hauling ass. So we're saying this is strength.
That's a 6. Strength is 16, so...
You succeed.
hell yeah.
Walter, you get to the chopper, and now we're going to cut to Eddie.
So it's the three of us and the pilot.
Correct. And the pilot's actually turning out to bring out a gun.
Hey, Walter, you think you could fly a helicopter, bud?
Oh, he's pulling out a gun at me?
Yeah, the pilot's pulling out a gun.
I think so.
Eddie fucking shoots the pilot.
Okay.
Marcy, close the door.
So make an attack roll. And the pilot's in a stationary position.
Yep.
So I'm going to say, because strapped in and was ready to go, I'm going to say you have a +2 to this attack. So you have a +4 total.
Eddie's done fucking around, everybody.
You rolled a 1
Okay.
and an 8.
Oh, all right.
+4 is 22. And that is a D8. Two plus 2 plus 1, because it's a rifle, is 5. You blow out the brains of the pilot, and the bullet goes through the glass. The pilot slumps over in the chair, and then Marcus goes, "What was that?" And he turns away for a split second.
I run to
Okay.
the copter.
And as Marcus sees you run, he goes to pull out. The other guy's confused in the process. And I now need you to make a dex save as hands shoot out from the bottom of the tower. Like they punch out through the steel's plating. And you need to see if you can make it to the chopper.
All right. I'll use my new dice that I bought. 4. I'm good.
Yes, you are. And as Marcus goes to fire, he needs to make a dex save. So does the other soldier. The soldier fails. Marcus succeeds. So he starts chasing after you and goes, "Nah," and sees you, Eddie. And goes, "Hey, Eddie,
Yo, what's up, buddy?
you promised me a drink."
Yeah, you promised to play cool?
Yeah.
All right, just you come on with us, buddy. Let's go.
And he fires his gun at you, Paul, and he goes, "Eddie, you should know I'm a liar."
Oh, well, fuck.
He shoots the ground in front of you.
You're a horrible shot. And he continues running.
All right. So you guys get into the chopper now. Marcus's men are getting overwhelmed. At one point, one of the machine gunners goes, "It's jammed! My gun is..." And his head is then descended upon by an infected that jumps through from the sniper. You can see the sniper now lost his fight, and the infected jumps off that and lands on top of the machine gunners. The Bloodwaters start to flee towards your helicopter, and you see bullets start to riddle the side.
Can I start to take off?
Fly.
Okay,
Why?
so you push the body out as bullets actually hit the door as it swings open. Eddie, you duck behind, and Marcy, she's going to try and take out Marcus.
Are there turrets
On this gun,
on the helicopter?
there are.
Okay.
This seems to be more of a military issue helicopter.
Mm-hmm.
Marcy hits.
Oh, yes.
Deals 6 points of damage. You watch as she blasts a hole inside of Marcus, and he falls to the ground. He's holding his gut, and he goes, fuck. And he's crawling. He is out of the fight. He is dying. His men start to panic. One of them starts to load an an RPG, and mounts it on his shoulder. Walter, you are trying to get into the cockpit as bullets riddle the side of your ship. Go ahead.
Okay.
Make your intelligence roll. Now, here's what I'm going to say. Have you ever flown a helicopter before?
I will say that he's in like his 40s or his 50s, so I would say to some degree he might have been involved with like military or something like that. So maybe he has experience driving some sort of military vehicles.
Okay, so I'm going to say instead of a -3, we're going to say this is a -1.
Okay. Cool. I will make that roll.
Okay. Good luck, son. What's your intelligence?
13.
-1 is 12. You rolled a 12.
Oh,
Which is,
So,
I think, a success.
okay, yeah.
And I'm going to rule it as a success because I have that power.
what a benevolent GM you are.
Well,
What a
the
Chad.
rocket pellet grenade still can be fired.
That's true. Will I have a chance to shoot the turret at that guy, maybe?
It is still the player's initiative, so yes.
All right.
You may fire at the guy loading the RPG.
Okay. We're going to have none of that now, sir.
It's a natural 20!
Oh, hell yeah.
So that is double damage. This is a mounted machine gun, which I think is 3d8.
Oh, baby!
Oh, baby.
Yeah, this guy's probably
a
dead.
triple.
right.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, it's double damage, but
A natural 20 does not do double damage in old school. It's just
you
an
just said-
automatic hit.
didn't you just say it was double damage?
No, I said 3d8. Did I say double damage?
You did
I thought you
say
said
double
double
damage.
damage.
Oh, well, you guys holding me accountable, huh? No, you know what? Since I said it, technically rulebook no, but I said it, so yes, you can do 68.
Double damage.
All right, what's that
Well,
first?
I think he's dead.
Well, I said a triple because he's rolling 3d8.
Oh.
So I wasn't just saying that to be goofy.
This goofy guy.
You just did enough damage to blow away like 2 of him.
All right, well, I'm going to just roll it again just because it's fun.
Yeah, that's a total 27 points of damage.
Hell yeah.
He only had 6 hit points. He's dead. There is nothing left of him. You continue to fire on that spot. The RPG does fire, however, and it fires wide. And as you kind of mow through, you succeeded. Walter brings up the helicopter. And as you guys begin to fly, you can see down low, the barricades have been breached. And the police and military is starting to be swarmed by the infected. You can see the rooftop is being infected. You guys think you're free from this nightmare when Marcus pulls out, crawls to the ammunition box as his men die. He slumps onto it, lifts up a Sam, and goes, "Sorry, Eddie," and goes to fire it.
You're a dick.
Do I have a rear view mirror?
Uh-oh.
That's an 18.
Uh-oh.
So here's what happens. I'm going to have you make a maneuver roll.
Okay.
So this is going to be intelligence still, because you're still handling the controls. If you succeed, the attack hits, but you're able to control the helicopter. If you fail, you're a free fall.
Okay, here we go.
Good luck.
I don't like that one.
It's getting spicy in here.
Oh, yeah.
I failed.
You rolled a natural 20.
That's a 20?
Mm-hmm.
No, that's a 16. I rolled that one next to it.
Oh, I thought you rolled a 20. I thought you rolled the purple die.
No, I decided I didn't want to.
So, here's what happens. You don't see it. The helicopter is hit. And the helicopter spins. You're losing control. It's a free fall down into a heavy urban area. At this point, was anyone wearing their seatbelts?
Yeah.
Yep.
I was strapped into the turret.
All right. I'm going to see if Marcy was, because she was firing.
Yeah.
I will say yes. I need all of you to make Constitution saves as the helicopter is about to crash.
Uh-oh.
And excuse me, instead of Constitution, I meant death saves. So you have to roll above death.
Which is D, right?
Yep, D.
Oh, the big D.
Oh, so I'm good. Got a 16, rolled a 17.
All right, what is mine?
And if you're wearing seatbelts, you get a +2 to this.
Okay.
I got a 15,
A 19.
so I'm good.
All right, here's mine.
Eddie rolled a 16. Your death save was a 13.
Oh, cool.
So +2 is 18. And Marcy rolled a 16, and her death save was 16.
Awesome.
And with that, it plummets down, and it all goes black for all of you. A few months later, the city is not like what it once was. Washington, D.C. is nothing but a ruin. Flipped over tanks and cars, burning buildings, shattered glass. The dead walk. The infected, these creatures walk. And now they seem to be mutating less, but are more human. Their flesh rotting off. And some just seem humans that are crawling across the ground as if they are starving. You can hear the screams in the distance, the occasional gunfire, the pounding of a very heavy gun. But yet, Eddie, you're alive. Barely. So are you, Walter. And so are you, Paul, still clutching onto the backpack that has the drive, the promise of escape. And so is Marcy. The four of you sit on the edge of a rooftop. Marcy holds a small orange radio, still trying to get it to work. It's been 3 months since the incident. Only 3 months. And almost all communication has been cut off. Even your damn signal. Paul.
He uploaded that video, though. How many views did it get?
From what you could tell, the amount of views that it got as it was rising was close to 100,000 before signal was lost. The city was overrun within a week. As you sit on the rooftop, Marcy fiddles with the radio, saying, I can't get this fucking thing to work. One of you want to try?
I'm a lawyer, not a Radio Shack employee. Sorry.
Shut up, Paul. I'll give it a shot.
Here, Eddie.
Talking bad about Radio Shack. That was my first job. What am I rolling here?
Intelligence, please.
Oh, my best stat.
You rolled an 11. Your intelligence is 11.
Oh, hey.
So, what you do is, Walter, you watch him as he's doing the same exact thing that Marcy was doing, until you watch him take the radio and starts slamming it onto the cement. Marcy goes, "What are you doing, Eddie?"
It's okay. I learned this at Radio Shack.
And suddenly you get a signal. Shh.
Like the Fonz.
How?
I don't know, magic.
Marcy laughs. Magic. Oh, fuck. Well, are you just going to look at it? Someone try to see if there's others out there.
Eddie picks up the I'm assuming it's like a ham radio, so it has like the thing you speak into.
Correct.
He picks it up, puts it to his mouth. Hello. I don't know if anyone's out there. We're trying to establish contact with other living people. Are there other living people out there? Over. He like turns off the radio and he looks to Marcy. You say over, right? Is that like a thing you do? Is that for real?
Copy? Maybe? What, is it over?
Who knows? Any response?
No.
Well, we'll keep trying. We can take shifts.
Paul, to your side, you had a small radio for music. That run by solar power. You can crank it, too, for emergencies. And then you start to get something on one of the radio stations. To all survivors out there, our home is gone. We know there are people out there still. We have made a small settlement within the Kennedy Center. We have food. We have supplies. To anyone out there listening, there probably is no rescue. We're on our own. We know there's a lot going on. We know that this is not what we thought our future will be, but we can make a brighter future together. And who knows, perhaps even one day we can again call this place our home. We will be continuing to play our favorite songs, so you know that we are still out there. We have not accomplished communications on a grander scale yet, but if you are listening, there's still hope. So here's our favorite song called Worry. Marcy looks over to you and goes, "Well, what do you think, Eddie?"
I think we listen to this song and we get a good rest tonight. And then tomorrow, if you guys are feeling it, maybe we can try and find our way there.
Paul?
Hey, yeah. If that's truly a civilized place, I would like to get away from all of you as soon as possible.
That's the spirit. What about you, Truce, buddy?
Well, it seems like our best shot at anything at this point. So, well, let's go.
Yeah. Let's go.
Yeah, we're like the Three Musketeers. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're the Four Musketeers. All right.
There were 4 in the books, too.
Holy shit, I never read the book. Can you teach me to read?
Yeah, Eddie, I can teach you to read.
Cool.
And you guys watch as you start to set up camp. As the sun sets. And slowly, the indigo of night and the silver stars overtake the ruined city of Washington, D.C.
Come home, I know you're listening out there. Come home, and it'll be alright. Come home, I know you're out there somewhere. Come home,